Celebrate the centennial of America's national parks with the 6 ABC Flower Show preview. From fragrant pinelands to desert blooms, marvel at exhibits inspired by our country's majestic landscapes. The Action News AccuWeather team explores acres of trails and even goes head-to-head in a crafty critter competition. Plus, don't miss your chance to win tickets. Explore America, the Philadelphia Flower Show preview. And now, from the Pennsylvania Convention Center, Cecily Tynan, Adam Joseph, Karen Rogers, David Murphy, and Melissa McGee.
Hello and welcome to the 2016 Philadelphia Flower Show.
I tell you, it smells glorious here inside the Pennsylvania Convention Center.
It's like a spring breeze filled with floral aromas.
Yeah, the theme of this year's show is Explore America.
A celebration of the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service.
And it's hard to believe, but nationwide there are 409 areas in the system.
And more than 100 are represented in this year's show.
Really everything from the orchids and tropical plants you'd find near Hawaii's volcanoes
To the seagrasses growing at Cape Cod National Seashore.
Horticulturally, it has got to be the most diverse flower show ever.
And it all starts right here at the central exhibit. Virtually every national park adventure starts with a stop at the lodge. And at this year's flower show, it's the Big Timber Lodge.
We wanted to put something at the entrance garden that sort of really wowed you.
From the lodge, you'll walk through a large portico adorned with floral totems made from live pre-cut trees.
They're massive in diameter, 9 to 12 or 13 feet tall, and up towards the top, cut flowers sort of dripping off and growing.
Archways are decorated with Native American-inspired art created by volunteers at Valley Forge Flowers. And PHS commissioned Philadelphia-based artist Emily White to design a life-size 3D buffalo sculpture and a 7-foot-tall bear.
To bring to life the animals and the habitats in the national parks that are so important that we try to preserve and protect.
The pathways lead to a huge open-air pavilion surrounded by gardens and thousands of varieties of flowers, plants, and rare evergreens.
You're going to see some early blooming bulbs like hyacinths and crocus. You're going to see some great perennials like echinacea.
And it's kind of the gateway to spring, so they want to just be awash with color and fragrance.
But the focal point is a 14-foot waterfall and 30-foot high faux redwoods that seem to grow right up into the rafters of the convention center.
And then this pavilion has roof panels that we've turned into projection screens.
The screens take visitors on a high-definition dusk-to-dawn virtual tour of national parks with the sights and sounds of everything from songbirds to bison.
It is sort of a feast for all senses.
And it is truly a stunningly beautiful assault on the senses.
That it is. And while the Park Service is celebrating its centennial birthday, this is the 50th year for the Flower Show Black Tie Preview Party.
And the first year for PHS's new president, Matt Rader. Come on in, Matt. Congratulations. Welcome.
So
Great to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Now, you joined PHS just 2 months ago, but I understand you've been a lifelong fan and visitor to the Philadelphia Flower Show.
Yeah, so I grew up out in the country in South Central PA in Mercersburg, and I've been coming to the Flower Show since I was a kid with my uncle from South Jersey. It's really a privilege to be here for the first time on the inside.
Yeah, and now that you are an insider, does it shock you as to how much work it takes to put the show on every year?
It's an incredible feat of creativity. So I've been in this building for the last 2 weeks with 4,000 talented professionals, high schoolers, amateurs, everybody putting together an amazing show, which is our biggest fundraiser for PHS.
Well, I'm glad you gave them the mad props as well. Congratulations on the show. And did you know, Cecily, that Matt and I, we actually went shopping together for our tuxes?
Well, you both look fabulous, let me tell you.
Thank you very much.
And I like this too.
I figure it's National Parks, woods. We're in the woods.
Well, stay tuned throughout the show because during the next hour, we're giving away free tickets to the Flower Show.
But you have to pay attention because it's a Tweet Stakes quiz.
That's right. Be sure to tweet us the answers using the hashtag 6ABC Flower Show.
All right, now let's take a look around.
Oh man, this is beautiful. The Central Garden is surrounded by showcase exhibits.
All inspired by national parks.
Some far-flung and some right here in our own backyard.
Hunter Hayes Landscape Design did not go far from their Ardmore office to find a muse for after the encampment.
It's inspired by Valley Forge Park.
The exhibit captures nature as it reclaims the land run down by the Revolutionary War.
When the soldiers were there at camp, they clear-cut all the trees. They used the fields that were once farm fields to build their villages. It only made sense to us that over time, the landscape would regenerate.
Fallen trees and vines have taken back the terrain, while relics of the battlefield still remain.
The cannon has crushed the structure and broken the axle and is now sort of melting back into the earth.
Wildflowers and native grasses capture the true essence of historic Valley Forge Park as it sits today.
And some color popping through, but very natural and earthy.
Bank of America has partnered with the National Wildlife Federation for their exhibit, Certified Wild, America's Backyard.
The idea here is you can really do things in your own backyard and bring, America the Beautiful right into your backyard.
The exhibit features ways for DIYers to build their own park-like setting.
This is something, kind of a backyard project where you can really develop an environment that's friendly with, birds, butterflies, your own little national park in your backyard.
Birdhouses, beehives, and nests fill the landscape with natural beauty, creating an exhibit that inspires visitors.
We have so many wonderful resources and things we really need to treasure and preserve.
Oakland-based designer Walter Hood is bringing West Coast inspiration with his display, Muir Tower.
We try to reconceptualize space so that people can understand another side of something that's ordinary.
The exhibit is a combination of Tatlin's Tower, a Russian architect's dream that never came to fruition, and Muir Woods National Monument, a park just north of San Francisco. A giant redwood is the centerpiece amongst a field of ferns. From inside the 20-foot base, 3 telescoping pieces and hanging spheres establish depth, conceptualizing the grandeur of the redwood forest.
You'll look up, which is the first thing you do when you go to Muir Woods.
The People's Promenade is Burke Brothers' ode to their hometown.
It's inspired by Independence Park in Philadelphia.
A large lawn opens the walkthrough exhibit, trimmed with soft cottage plants, white river birch trees, and a formal hedge.
Everything's going to lead your eye toward this main feature, which is going to be our Liberty Bell.
The hanging bell is decorated with red, white, and blue paper flowers, backed by an artist's ode to the Constitution. The wall is 13 feet high by 28 feet wide, one of the main attractions of this 2,000 square foot presentation.
People can walk through the exhibit, sit on the benches that we built, kind of like enjoy the space and stroll through it. That's why we called it the People's Promenade.
And the Burke Brothers exhibit is dedicated to Sean Burke.
He's one of the founding brothers who sadly passed away earlier this year.
Sean had worked on the flower show for nearly 25